I'm Beth Joey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. This is the channel where I paint my face, turn my camera on, and talk about some books. It's officially the end of spring, which is so sad because I love spring, but it means that summer is coming soon and I cannot wait for the warmer months, the sunshine, going to the beach, all those sorts of things. But before we jump into summer, before we get too excited, we need to run through all the books that I put on my TBR for spring and whether or not I actually read them in my latest edition of On the Hook to Read the Book. If you haven't been on my channel before, then On the Hook to Read the Book is essentially a series where I run through all the TBRs that I've made for myself and I just go through whether or not I'm actually reading the books that I set for myself. It is an accountability measure more than anything at all, and it's a very, very quick video just to keep you guys updated on my reading and hold myself accountable to what I say I'm going to read. So without further ado, let's run through all the books that I said I was going to read in spring and whether or not I actually read them, and if I did, what I rated them. First up, we've got A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer, which I did read, super proud of. I had this month basically in May where I tried to smash out as many of these books as I could because I'd completely forgotten about this TBR, and this is one of the books that I smashed out. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it, but I thought the vibes that it gave off in the fairy tale and the romance was kind of cute. So 3 stars. Next up, we had Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I loved the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, but unfortunately, this series, I think it's called the Avalon Bay series, didn't quite live up to the hype. I only gave it 2 stars when I read it because it just felt a lot more toxic than romantic. Next up, we have Against the Loveless World by Susan Abulhawa. This is a book that I haven't read, but I'm still very, very keen for. I've got it from my library and everything, so I'm ready to smash it out soon, but just haven't gotten around to it. Then we've got Anything Could Happen by Lucy Diamond. This is a book that Ben got me, and it's not something I would usually pick for myself, but I ended up kind of enjoying it. I gave it 3 stars. It's a beautiful story about reconnecting your family when you learn that it's completely different to who you thought it would be, and honestly, the sort of character growth in this story was beautiful. I just wasn't obsessed with the romance side of it, so 3 stars. Then we've got With This Kiss by Carrie Fletcher, which I had super, super high expectations for because I love Carrie Fletcher as a performer. I've seen her in Cinderella, and I think she's just incredible, but unfortunately, I gave this book a go and I DNF'd it because at the end of the day, it felt like it was trying to meet too many different pieces of criteria in terms of being woke. Don't get me wrong, I'm all about diversity and inclusivity. It just felt very, very staged and very, very inauthentic, and that just bothered me. Next up, we've got The Skeleton Key by Erin Kelly. I have not read this book, but I am definitely keen to. Then we've got Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. I gave this book 2 stars when I read it. I loved the fairy tale vibes, but ultimately the characters really bugged me and the romance kind of felt like it was coming out of nowhere. Then we've got Diddly Squat Till the Cows Come Home by Clarkson, which is a book series based on the Amazon TV show, or maybe it's vice versa, I can't remember. All of it is based around Clarkson's experience being a farmer. I love these books. I think he is so blunt about the things he believes, but he also is not afraid to learn new things and to challenge his own beliefs as well. Obviously, he's a guy who got a lot of fame from Top Gear and driving cars, which is obviously not great for the environment. So now he's seen things from a completely different perspective now that the environment is very, very integral to the way that his business is able to run on this farm. I read this book, I gave it 4 stars. Then we've got Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, which is another book I read in that mad scramble to read in May, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, but the whole found family aspect, there was a cute little romance. There was just this coven of women who were just coming together to protect this poor, poor kid who was really going through a tough time and had a really horrible reputation just shoved on them, and I thought it was absolutely incredible, so I gave it 5 stars. And lastly, we've got The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber, which I haven't read because I really, really want to do a reread of Once Upon a Broken Heart before I jump into this book, and that is something that I'm planning to do very, very soon at the beginning of summer. So something to look out for. I'm probably going to vlog my experience rereading the first one and reading the second one. So yeah, that is the 10 books that I set for myself to read in spring. I ended up reading 7 of them if you include the DNF With This Kiss, 6 if you don't include that one, and there are 3 that I still need to read going forward. So I'm pretty happy with that, but most of that is to do with the mad rush of reading that I tried to do in May in order to just get some of these books off this TBR because I was struggling. But anyway, you guys don't care about all of that, so come and chat to me in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, and if you haven't, if you're keen to read any of these books, or just let me know what you're reading at the moment, loving it, hating it, all that kind of thing. Come and chat to me in the comments down below. I love talking to you guys and I do my best to reply to every single comment. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do let me know by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell all down below. It's a super, super easy way to help my channel grow, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. Bye!